You get to hear all about our challenges and accomplishments as we either grow DissedMedia or go bust. Either way, you're going to have a front row seat to hear it all. There's a risk involved to it, and not everybody is always equipped or ready to take that risk, and not everybody feels comfortable with that risk. 1,000 followers, it's not easy, right? It's a slog. It takes a lot of work to get that done. If you are a small business or a business that is looking to tap into a niche audience, micro influencers are definitely an audience to consider. There's a really significant population of people who turn to these voice-assisted devices asking for where the nearest florist is, or wanting to place an order and wanting to do that using their voice. And what they found, something we put in the article, is that there's a lot of people who are looking, not necessarily a lot of businesses that are showcasing that they have a presence, for that kind of search. This is just an article that really kind of taps into ways to mitigate burnout and reduce those risks for you. So ways that managers can help contribute to solving that problem as well, to create a better, more healthy workforce. I started this podcast out as a means of giving people a behind the scenes look at what it takes to start a business from absolutely nothing. Put out a podcast last week. Guess what? Nobody cared. We had 2 listens last week of the podcast. It's okay. Not stopping me. It is what it is. We're going to put more out. Doesn't matter. We're doing it again. We're going to do it again next week and for the next several, as far as I can tell. We had 7 likes. We had 2 people who bookmarked what I had been talking about, and 1 comment from a gentleman who was promoting his business as I was talking about my dismal social media, and he said, "Hey, my company can help." All right, moving on to Facebook. Facebook, we did 12 posts last week. Now, our Facebook page, we get really low impressions on that, right? 13 impressions. And again, with Facebook, they know it's a business. We don't have a huge following. It gets served up to the small smattering of followers that we do have. I was doing about 3 posts a day for quite a while, a good 6 or 8 months. It was done most especially when we didn't really have any traction at all. And initially, I was getting a lot more engagement. But I think the algorithm kind of reversed on me. LinkedIn still continues to be the audience where I tend to attract the most likes, comments, even shares at times. So when I first started this venture, I took $5,000 and said, all right, let's start here. I don't think so yet. And because of that is why I am not going out trying to ask people to invest in something where I'm not really sure what the return is going to be quite yet. Starting DissedMedia, started it with $5,000. Now, where has that money gone, and what does our runway look like? So now we kind of talk about time, and why I called this episode $20,000 Deep is because if I think about my time, I put anywhere from 10 to sometimes if I'm working on something very technical with the site, could be 30, 40 hours, easily burn, 20, 30 hours on the weekend. But if you enjoy this kind of stuff, if you enjoy doing this kind of work, I don't think you really count the hours. And easily $25,000 to $40,000 a year of my time, right? Putting my time into this thing. So even though I call this episode, the $20,000 deep, the reality is probably a little bit more than that, probably a lot more than that. But what do we get for it? I just have this burning passion to democratize business information and make learning easier and more accessible to a lot more people. It's a pain. It costs money. It is not something that I think everybody would choose to do. But it's something I've chosen to do, and it's something that I have a lot of fun doing. The sole purpose of a business to exist in the first place is to make money. And they are always looking to make money and save money. And they are not going to take on expenses that they don't need. We're not reaching millions of people like Ryan Trahan, but we're reaching a few. We're building ourselves up slowly and organically. And I am all so very thankful for your attention and allowing us to do that.